And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Pacific Rim US Scrum. Tonight here is Amy, Patrick, and Vijaya, and me, João. So let's kick on our stand-up. Vijaya.
Yeah, yesterday I have blocker and my VM is down because of the hard disk problem. I resolved the issue, then it is up, it is running. I resized the hard disk. Everything is went successfully. Now I update my PR. Yeah, I don't have
Okay.
any block.
No blockers?
No.
Okay. So, Patrick.
Yeah, so today I didn't do a lot. I reviewed some code, made some comments, and I started to look a little bit at notification services, including notification services that would notify people on mobile devices. Not that we're anywhere near wanting to do that at this point, but just to get an idea of what's out there. There's a lot of services out there that we can exploit later downstream. Everybody remembers when we talked about requirements, there's a lot of references to notifying people in an agency when things happen, like a job seeker joins, etc. So, something to think about later. And that's it, no blockers?
Okay. So, Amy?
Okay, so I've been working on my pull request, and I got some change requests, and I think I've fulfilled all the change requests, and so I'm waiting for that to get done, and then I'm going to start the next story.
Okay. Any blocker?
I'm not quite confident about starting a new story with so much pending, because I've found a lot of the change requests from the pull request were from errors that shouldn't have been there at all and came in from merging. So apparently I'm doing merging, in particular I'm doing rebase wrong somehow, or there's a setup that's wrong. So I'm trying to minimize those errors by needing as little of that as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And next time I have to merge, I'll do a pairing with somebody.
Okay. In theory, Git should do everything for you, so you shouldn't have any problem. Like the issue with the spaces, usually that happens with the editors. Some editors like to, oh, there's this extra space, so I'll just take it out. So that's where some of those errors, some of those changes appear.
Yeah, but I was having stuff come into my code base, like files that I had deleted or reappearing, or like, you know how it says head, and head is here and this is your version, or this is the previous version. Stuff left over from that doesn't get deleted all the way because it has to be deleted by hand. And I'm sure it's not supposed to work that way, so I'm just going to have to work through one of those things with someone.
You need to be careful when you remove things from the tree of Git. If you remove them without doing a Git remove, for example, or a Git move to change files from one side to another, just gets everything scrambled up. So we need to be careful there.
I put a command in the chat. I couldn't hear you very well. Is that the command you meant? Okay.
Instead of doing just a remove or just deleting it by hand, if it is in Git, you need to do that, or else Git wouldn't know that the file disappeared and start doing crazy things.
Okay. So git add all doesn't cover deleted files?
The problem is that imagine if you don't need to do a add when you remove, you should do a remove.
Okay. I don't want to get off topics, so.
Okay. Salim was here, but he's not. So For me today, I've been reviewing pull requests. I was helping Sam on because he's setting a waffle. Uh, he's setting waffle for website one as well. He's going to try to migrate Puzzle Tracker there. So I was giving him my insight there as well. I can't say I paired with Salim today. We've been 5 minutes trying to talk about his wireframes, and that was it. So for me, it's all. Okay, anyone want to add anything else?
I don't think so.
No? We currently have stories to work on, or they are not, or we don't.
Yesterday we went through and voted on some stories,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like there's enough in the queue now to keep us busy through at least the end of this week.
We currently have in progress 1, 2, 3, 4 stories in progress, and 1 in ready. So I believe that after we close 184, you'll be out of things to do, because in ready we just have update agency person.
Yeah, I was. That is the one that's next in my queue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what other people have next in their queues.
There's nothing. That's what I'm saying. Currently in the ready state, we just have 1 task there, and I believe Patrick is going. We're going to close the 184 now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So
Yep.
we don't have any more story that we currently have estimated. So you guys want to estimate some stories now, or not really?
Yeah, but my story is pending because progress one is one day I am fixing the JavaScript thing, the Phantom JS. Somebody did it there one, and I'm merging in that. It has all my tests failed. It take 1 day to fix that one based on my VM. Yesterday my VM is down. Then it take 2 to 3 hours uh, hard disk resizing everything
Mm-hmm.
because of that one.
Yeah, but you currently have work, right?
Yeah, I have.
I was just talking about Patrick because Patrick has only 1 assigned and doesn't have anything else to do next.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's plenty in the backlog that I could go after, but I think what I might want to do, I've been starting to think about the design of the design of the notification and task management. So we have a bunch of notifications, and we also have tasks that are added to people's queues based upon events happening, like a job seeker joining pets that doesn't have a job developer assigned, things like that. That particular one would result in a task being added to a task list for the agency admin to assign a job developer to that job seeker, for instance. There's a bunch of those things. So we have tasks that are created plus notifications that should go out to alert people that there are things to be done.
Okay, but my question is, do we have any story for it currently?
We don't. I haven't written a story yet for that. I need to write something up to get us started.
I think we should try to focus on what's on the sprint creation first, and then we can create a story and put it on the top of the backlog, and if we see that it's something that is blocking or is something urgent, we can move it forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there is a story, 133, which is a notification of the agency admin of a new company that's registered. So there's that. That's essentially a start of what I was talking about, that design problem. So Yeah, we could definitely assign some points to a few things in the sprint creation, so there's more of a ready backlog for us.
Mm-hmm. Salim, are you there? I believe so, but without sound.
He's on mute.
Yeah.
Can you unmute him?
Nope.
He muted himself.
I can only unmute persons that I muted, so not. Yeah, maybe Salim can update there. Okay, so let me just push this up. Share my screen. Okay, so are you guys seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so everyone's looking at this. Let's start from the top to the bottom, I believe. Yeah. So add permission to job seeker controller. Okay, so we need to start adding can permissions there. So do you guys think we can do this story now, or do you prefer to move it a little bit forward down the line?
We talked about it yesterday. My opinion is we ought to hold off on the can stuff because when we start applying it, it will get in the way of development because we'll have to be the right role to see things, etc.
Currently, we don't have it currently.
We're not checking any can.
No, not my question. Sorry. My question was, don't we have aren't the tests in the users already created in a way that we don't need to, that we're using the correct user to access the correct thing? Like the job seekers are job seekers and only access this, and job developers the same thing.
We really haven't implemented that throughout.
No, I'm not asking about can. I'm talking about the tests that we have. For example, a job seeker can only the only test that we have is to access things that job seekers should access, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have many, if any, tests that really test that. To be honest, that would be part of the process, right? To build that.
I think we're not getting on the same page here. You said that if we start adding can, we'll have problems during our development. Why?
Well, right now, anybody can go to, let's say, job seeker edit. We don't even have a URL for that, but if we did, I could go there as just a regular user. In fact, I can type in the URL and just go to that screen, jobseeker/1/edit. And if I should be plugged in here, that might be better. And if we have can going, it would stop me because I'm not logged in with the right role. It's not a strong argument for not doing can, but I just don't see it as critical right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really think we ought to, at some
not
point...
a very strong argument, but I believe we can hold off on this, but there's something that we need to think about.
Yeah.
So, as a job developer, I create a job opportunity from employer description. So is notification thing. Okay, so this one we can work on it. Yes, we can. So what are we missing on the job developer registration?
So John, when I receive the email, I gotta go to the page and finish my profile. I don't think we're missing anything, to be honest.
So do you guys think this is done?
Finish registration of a job developer. Yeah, that's an employer. So yeah, that's a duplicate.
Yeah.
Actually, that's an agency person, Amy.
It is?
Job developer.
Yeah.
Job
Yes.
developer. Yeah.
Job developer.
So what is needed there? Amy's going to be working. The next one, I think, Amy, right, is an agency person can edit their user profile.
Yeah, self-edit for agency person. So that would be part of the acceptance criteria for that story because they have to go back and edit.
Yep. Yep.
So go ahead and assign that to me so that I can make sure that that's covered because that includes some work that I wasn't planning to do, which is the registration process. They get the email and then they go back, whereas I was just going to test go to your go from the nav bar to your profile and update it.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be easy to put the registration process as part of that testing to make sure that it works.
Okay, so basically what we're missing here that you are not going to, we're not thinking in implementing. Can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, testing for confirmation that the registration process works.
Anyone tell me the number of the other story?
It's, hold on a sec.
This.
If you could pull it to one side.
It's 185, isn't it, Amy? Update agency person? Is that
Update
right?
agency person is the name of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's 185.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys wanna give points to this story?
Sure.
So this is just testing, is that correct?
Testing
It is, when I do, after I do 122, I mean, after I do 185, so that the agency person can edit themselves, I will need to test the process of inviting an agency person or however they get added, check that I get the email, follow the link in the email, and update my edit profile. So that means that there's a link from the email to the edit profile, which means some additional development for the email in the mailer. Did that make any sense?
No, I don't agree we want to do that, Amy.
What? Why?
Right now, the agency onboarding process the person onboarding process is the invite process, similar to the company person invite process. And once they click on the invitation email, they go to a page where they enter their password and confirm it. When we're done with that, they're dumped into what we're calling the agency landing page, which is right now just a placeholder. And at that point, they can click on the upper right to your edit link, and you'll bring them to their user edit profile page. So that's how they would do that.
Tell me more about this agency landing page that they get redirected to.
Basically, when agency people log in, they're going to get directed to some page which contains a lot of information pertinent to an agency person, and that'll be their starting point on the app. Right now, it's just a page that says "Welcome to MetPlus" page or something like that. There's nothing there. Similarly, company person logging in will be directed to a company landing page with information about their particular company. Hello,
Okay.
Joe Smith from Target at, Main 123 Main Street.
Okay. So does this story match the agency person process that you just described?
No, this was written before that process was developed. Changed a couple of times in the development of it.
Okay. And which one do we want to use? Or have we decided?
Well, the agency invite process is complete.
Okay.
It's in production, so.
Okay. Does that mean that this story is obsolete?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. What is this story? So I think this story is actually done.
Okay.
Or it's written incorrectly with respect to our current functionality, the way we envision it working now.
My question is, are we going to do all these steps in the other tasks?
Hua, are you asking, is receiving the email, going to the web page, and editing the profile going to be part of the process? Is that your question?
My question is this story already done when you finish the 185?
Yes and no. The registration of the job developer
I'm
is
not talking
finished.
about the process, Amy. I'm talking about the story itself.
We've decided not to do the story.
Yeah. Story is incorrectly worded for what we're doing now.
Not really. It's not incorrectly worded. It's correctly worded. But if you want to put all the process here, is I go to the web page and then I can finish my profile clicking whatever. So the process is correct here as well, because you finish, but you're not landed in the page to finish your profile. Nevertheless, my question is, when you finish 185, will this be complete?
No.
So what will we be missing?
Well, can I take another run at this? So it
Sure.
really is incorrectly worded. When the invitation process concludes, the profile for the invited person is all set and ready to go, and they're ready for work once they log in, which happens immediately when they confirm their password. Their profile's ready because the agency admin has already assigned them roles, assigned them job developers, etc. So they're ready to go. There's nothing that has to be done for them to start working. So saying finish my profile implies there's some uncompleted thing before they can really start being active, which is not the case.
Do they have all their fields correctly added?
Yeah, they do.
The first name, the last name, all the user table fields are there.
All that's done.
Who's gonna do that? Is going to be the person that creates a profile?
The agency admin invites a job developer. So the agency admin goes in and fills out first name, last name, email, and anything else we add as attributes. But right now, I think that's pretty much it. Then clicks invite, and then an invitation goes out to the proposed job developer. At the same time, the agency admin is then presented with an edit screen for that job developer where they fill out other attributes that are required for a job developer, which includes, what is your role? Click the job developer box. What job seekers are you assigned? Select those, that kind of thing.
So what you're saying is that agency administrator needs to know every piece of information that we're going to ask about the job developer to create a profile?
If there's stuff pending, like we don't know what job seeker is going to be assigned to the job developer, etc., it just leaves it blank.
No, that's not the issue. I'm talking about the user table.
The user table. Yeah, so we need everything required to create a user object in the user table to invite a job developer, which are 3 things right now. First name, last name, and email. We need that.
I don't agree with that, but let's move on. So basically, back again. This story will be finished when we do the story 185.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's close this thing. Next. Job seeker registration notifies agency. As a agency member, when a job seeker registers in the website, so this is the notifications as well. And this one, add a new job developer. I received an email from the web site with an invitation to join. Then using the profile link, I enter the website. The provided link, I enter the website and fill the form with the missing information. So
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Okay, I don't understand why.
Patrick, will the edit profile for agency person include role and branch?
Yeah, it does. It already does.
It already does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So we currently are stopped on the jobs because we don't have anything that we can do on the jobs. How are we in the administration part?
On jobs, you said?
Mm-hmm.
No, we've got 173 there, right?
No, not much. Yeah, we're blocked on jobs because of these jobs, because we don't have the screens, we don't have anything, so they're currently blocked. On the job seeker registration process, is that complete?
Yeah.
Okay, so agency person creation is on the way, right? Or is already complete?
That should be already complete. Creation
Which
is
one
complete.
is that?
I'm not looking into tasks. I'm trying to understand which areas we need to attack next. So the agency people is there. In terms of company creation of users for the company, is that all set?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
that's done.
Okay, so we need to start. Yeah.
Okay, there's something really useful. Process resume. Do we have upload resume yet?
No. Currently not. And Okay, so basically at this point we're missing all the notification system behind the scenes and uh, the jobs and everything that's related to jobs, like creating jobs, searching for jobs, applying for jobs, and everything like that. And we're missing the part that will take care of the resumes, right?
Yeah, if the latter includes matching job seekers to jobs based upon their resume parsing. That's the huge area that we're missing. So that's the third big area we're missing right now.
Okay.
I think it might be worth putting in the functionality to upload the resume and giving it to Chet. Is his name Chet?
Mm-hmm.
Giving it to Chet to play with, so he can say, well, like, how is this going to work? Because I think we're about to run up to him thinking that, you know, there can be this magical parsing and matching, which I don't think is realistic, and we should figure that out with him.
One of the problems I have is I have no idea what magic will occur in that parsing and matching. I think we haven't had much discussion about that.
Yeah.
And I have a big gap in my knowledge as to how that's supposed to work, or what we can expect from that. Because we're not asking a job seeker to give us any more granular information that's usually captured on these sites to match their interest to available jobs. We're not asking any of that.
Yeah. I mean, once
There's
we
some
have...
magic going on there. Sorry, I mean to interrupt, but
Sure, no problem.
No,
Let me know when you're ready.
Please, go.
Okay, great. So once we have job seekers can sign up, agency people can sign up, employers can sign up, and the job developer, the agency person, can connect with the job seeker and the company person. I think we'll have enough functionality for Chet to take that and start using it in a limited way, because I think that we've done a lot of theory and design without people actually using it, and I think figuring out how to deliver him functionality that's going to be of value to him in a timely manner is achievable, you know, in like the next couple of months. So, the way to do that is to give him something that is usable, not ready for prime time, but usable, and, you know, let them use it and give us some feedback.
Okay, so
Question is, Amy, how much do we need to give him that he actually would find it useful to start using it?
yeah,
That
because
is an excellent question to ask the next time we meet with him.
basically at this point we are talking about the jobs, and we need the job setup. We need at least somewhere to save the resume, and I am almost 100% sure that we already have that. And we need the notification system behind at least some sort of structure.
Okay. So, given what we have now, we don't have permission control, which I think we need, and before we let an employer and a job seeker touch it, which should be part of the user testing. We don't have resume upload, but I think that can be worked around with again, this isn't ready for prime time. This isn't a commercial thing. The purpose of the trial run is to get some actual practice using the system with workarounds. So, for example, if he has an agency person, then the agency person can keep track of the job seeker's resume. We have a couple of jobs already in the database, so we do have job functionality. We just don't have add a job functionality. They can give us a spreadsheet of some jobs, and we can stick them in there. You know, that would give it enough functionality for them to see what's missing to make this happen.
Okay, I think so. So from what I'm seeing here, I believe we kind of have the basics to upload a resume and to retrieve it.
Okay, great.
So we can store it and we can get it back. So we are at a point where we can just pick it up in the registration and just send it there.
Okay. Our next meeting with Chet is not
So
this
I'm
Friday,
leaving
but
right
next.
now. I had to go to school.
Okay.
Bye, Vijaya. Thank you.
Bye.
I guess I'm wondering what value this would be to Chet, other than to tell us that it's okay for inviting a company, whatever. If we don't have the ability to match resume to available jobs, that's the key value add for him, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
But-
how
but-
feasible do
but-
you think that functionality is, Patrick?
Oh, I don't know. I was just saying I don't know what's envisioned or what's built yet.
So basically, this can be as complex and as hard as we want it to be. And to start with this, my initial idea was a very simple one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know the part of the jobs where you just tell it? You just say what skills do you want the job seeker to have,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So on the part of the crunching of the resume, we need to create a configuration that says, for example, that software development or software developer words, phrases in the resume are the same thing, and then we would match our skill with this.
So some keyword matching, some limited
Basically,
keyword matching.
a very basic thing where you just say, for example, you have Ruby developer, and it will search for all the indexed ways of calling a Ruby developer, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Are you going to?
This application is intended to substitute for human labor, which means that human labor is currently being done. At least I assume it's being done. I want to learn more about how this will map onto their process and save them some work. And the only way to really answer that question is to have them start playing with it.
the major thing at this point. I'm not 100% sure that is there more people besides Chet
Good
working
question.
there.
Good question.
So this is going to be like a one-man show, I believe.
Right. In which case, what are we developing agency person for? I guess
The
for
idea
Chet?
that basically the idea that this is going to be a system that will manage a full agency,
Uh-huh.
and the idea to Chat is to pick this up and build an agency around it.
Okay.
And then pick that up and try to make the Michigan State use this application as the base application for all the agencies like MacPlus. This is the idea from that Chet has.
Okay. I think to meet the level of Michigan State, he's going to need funding and he's going to need pros. But for the interim, if the idea is to take this and build an agency around it, then maybe the conversations we should be having with him is, well, what does that mean? You know, like if you're going to build an agency around this, what do you see being the next step in building your agency? Is it to have a roster of job developers that you can keep track of, a roster of employers that you can keep track of? Is it to automate and organize the information so that you can delegate some of your work to somebody else? I don't know the answers to those questions.
I would say it's all of the above and then some. We spent a lot of time with Chet initially, Amy, before you joined, going through.
Yeah.
We started building code, key requirements. So it's basically that kind of thing. I guess in terms of turning this over to Chet, I just want to see what everybody's expectations are. Are we asking him to take this thing and bang away at it for 2 hours and come back and tell us what worked and what didn't, what was confusing, what was not? Or are we asking him to adopt this and start trying to use this within his daily work and see if that works for him? Which of those two scenarios were you guys thinking?
The latter.
In that case, if we don't have something that reduces some of his manual work, in particular matching incoming job descriptions to a pile of paper resumes on his desk, if we can't help him address that problem with minimal functionality on matching, then all we're doing is adding to his workload. We're not relieving anything. And so I don't think asking him to actually start using it and doubling, well, maybe not doubling, but adding to his workload is really fair. Nor would he do it, to be honest.
I think that it's fair because we're doing a lot of work and we're not charging him, and it's valuable work. So that's how he pays for it. The longer we go without road testing this in some way, the higher the likelihood that we're going to develop the wrong thing, and we're going to develop ourselves into a corner where we've made architectural decisions that cannot accommodate his needs because we didn't check with the real world.
Yeah, so when we get into job matching, especially job matching to resumes, that's really critical for him to have an early view of that, because that'll be an enormous value add for him. Before that, you know, we're adding basic stuff. He's not going to have an opinion on some of this stuff. And I've demoed the agency invite process to him twice now, and he says, "Oh, that looks good. That's great." Now, would he have more feedback if he actually used it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a benefit from that, but I don't need to get it in his hands right now because it'll just add to his workload. I think if we can relieve some of his workload with minimal functionality and the matching question, I think that's when to put it in front of him. I think the other thing about your comment about he's not paying me, I get that, but I think the Agile Ventures philosophy, and Hugh, you could correct me if I'm wrong, is we treat our clients as if they are paying customers, which I actually like. I agree with that philosophy. So that's kind of how I think of it. Even though he's not paying, kind of.
So
I would treat a paying customer this way, though. In fact, I'm more likely to forgive a free client because it's a practice session. You know, it doesn't have as high a bar of quality. Whereas with a paying customer, I need to find out as early as possible whether this is usable. And the way that you find that out is releasing early and often. But you guys have been on the project a lot longer than I did. You did the initial intake with Chet. I'm totally happy to do it the way that you guys want to do it. I mean, I haven't even been coming to the client meetings most of the time.
So my opinion on this, is, I think Amy is right, and even if we don't do a matching system that works for now, if we have a platform where a job seeker can search for jobs it doesn't matter if he's qualified for it or not, but if we have some sort of functionality that allow him to search for a job, that might be enough to start and to apply. And if we have that system that he wants, that will send him notifications that there is a user that is 6 months onto his job or whatever, that might be enough to start.
Well,
Because basically, what we're providing him in the initial release, it's just a very simple version where he can just start gathering things up, and we're going to build over it.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that's the final thing or something like that.
if job seekers associated with Chet's agency can come to the site and do their own searching of available jobs, there's value in that, definitely. Even that, though, we'll have to parse the description, because a lot of this stuff will be buried in text, a big, long description of the job, and that'll require some parsing there.
If the thing is, we don't, when you're searching for a job, you're going to search always inside a description and the title, right? So you're going to if you put a word there, we'll have to search on the header and in the body as well, on the description. So basically, that's something that we will need to do always, and that's something that we can start with that will bring value to him. We don't have the full working functionality for the job seekers, for the job developers. So basically to help Chet, but we have the other part that we can use and we can give him. So I think if we start this way and we give him, okay, you have everything set up, it's in this URL, you can start adding people there and see how it works. If it works as you intended, if not, if you just want to do like a dry run and see how things are, that's okay.
Okay.
Are you okay with this, Patrick, or not
Yeah,
really?
Sure, we can set expectations that this is the features we'd like you to try. You know, they're raw and rough, but please try them out and see if they work. Yeah.
And I think I'm not presenting my idea in a way that's easy to understand. So I'll work on that too, and we'll have time to meet and get clear on on the message that we're communicating, and also what we hope to learn before next Friday.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So for you, Patrick, and I believe that going back to what I start saying, so let's create a story here. We need to start getting a sense on how can we notify, and the first thing that I believe we should do is see if there is some sort of notification. When I'm saying notification, I'm saying we need to get a way to do a queue where we put things and they will get distributed, more or less something like this. So I'm talking about a system that allows us, for starters, to have in the website like a flag that's on when you have a message or a notification. Okay, so I think we need to start looking into how we can do this, and how we can do this in a specific date as well. This will include, we'll have some work to do here because we'll need to get all this information into the database to make it visible or whatever. But I believe that's the next step before we start digging into the notifications. Are you guys okay with this?
Yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about, actually.
System.
System. Maybe we call it just a design at this point, not an implementation task.
A developer. Developer. I need to search and design a solution. To create notifications inside the website. Okay. That's okay. Let me just put this here. So when you finish everything, I believe we were not going to give points to this story because it's more, let's call it research story. Yes.
Don't we give points to things like design items or spikes and things like that? Or do we not? Maybe we don't. Maybe spikes don't get noise.
Spikes don't get points, and basically that's all. And this is more or less what this is.
Okay.
So I think we can.
We should also, if we're not going to give spike points, we should also not give bugs points, and be clear that when we're talking about points, we're measuring. Well, oh wait, because we were measuring value. Sorry, this is my Scrum Master coming out. Points serve one of two purposes. They track your velocity, but there's two ways of measuring your velocity. You can measure your velocity in the rate that you produce value, or you can measure your velocity in the rate that you consume effort. So the way that we've been estimating our stories is that we've been estimating how much effort they're going to take. By that logic, we assign points to spikes and bugs because they consume effort. And if we want to say, how much are we going to get done, like once we have a history, which we do by now, when we look at our history and we try to project, okay, given this is our velocity, what can we expect in the future? That'll matter. It'll affect our velocity. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, you are.
Yes,
okay.
You are. So now my question back to you is, how do you measure in terms of work research?
I treat it like if it's required for the execution and delivery of value, I count it as work because I'm using points to measure effort.
Yeah, I understand that. But how do you measure a topic like to research a system?
There's two options. You can time box it. You can say, I'm going to spend 2 days on this. Or you can say, I need to solve this problem, and this is how much work I think it's going to be. I have to take this. Sorry.
No problem.
Well, we can put this off until later. We can just leave it unassigned in terms of points. Why don't you just assign that to me then, or I can assign it to myself.
Yeah, I was thinking because something like this will need to. This is going to be like a 3 because there's no not much to do there. So
yeah,
we can just assign the points there if you agree with the 3 there.
Yeah, 3 works. 3 works.
So let's make it a 3. Where's the points? A 3. I can just set it to you. And for now, we're a little bit empty. From this story, what I expect to get back is a subset of stories that will so like take care of this like a business requirement. When we need to break this into multiple stories, smaller, because we'll need to build some sort of system in a database, or it would be enough just to get a gem that might do this. We need to look into this. So I believe that maybe, I don't know, today's Wednesday, maybe till Friday on the Scrum stand-up we can talk about this. If you have already researched and everything, if you find something, if you didn't find anything, but you have already some ideas, you can just start building stories there, and we can just look into them and maybe add them into this sprint. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, the deliverable specifically for 186 would be an outline of the design and a breakdown of the work required to build the design.
Yeah.
From that, we can spin off different stories. But the final version, the criteria when we're done is a review with the team of the design and everybody agreeing to it. Or
yeah. What I'm saying is that you think that till Friday it would be enough for you to research to see if there is any kind of gem, or to have some more or less a structure for it, or is it not enough?
We can try. I can't necessarily.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking this because if you say no, that'll be done in tomorrow. We need to look into other stories that we need to push here. If not, we can just postpone this, and I'll try to look into all the stories that we have here and try to put them into the sprint, and then we can add points to them. It's more in terms of planning of the rest of the work, not this work specifically. So you believe it will take you more than till Friday, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm. Yeah, absolutely. So even if I got the design done by Friday and we're queuing up a design review, I might start creating a spike in building a little bit of it just to explore. So I can definitely expand the work to fit the time. But anyway, I may not have a roughed up design by Friday anyway, so I think we're fine leaving it with just this one story.
So maybe we'll just leave it like this. I'll try to merge the two PRs that we have here that are connected, or maybe the three. I'm not sure. I'll have to review everything. And everyone has work. So because the Salim thing, you voted on it too, like on the 176. And I'm not sure if this CRUD.
No, we voted a 3. We voted 2. Oh, wait a minute. That was just the wireframe effort?
Oh, these are the wireframes. Okay.
Yeah, we gave them a 3 for the actual implementation. It may be bigger than a 3. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe because if the implementation is just at the model level, okay. But if it's not at model level, it includes views and controllers and everything. It is tight.
It does. It includes unit functional integration tests.
Even ignoring the test part, a 3 here looks like too much, because we should have maybe a story just to create the jobs, because that's a big thing, and another that is related is edit, so it could be together. But the view, it's another completely different topic, because we need to have a couple of views as well. So, but
well,
okay.
maybe we ought to give it an 8, and then tomorrow we break it up when we have our meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think we're done. It was quite a big meeting.
Well, one other thing, I think I was a little concerned when you said you're not in agreement with the way the invite agency person create process works. Perhaps what we ought to do in a meeting either tomorrow or Friday is I need to show everybody on the team. I think I've actually demoed the process only to Chet. He doesn't follow along on the client meetings.
Right.
I think we ought to review that and all look at it at the same time, so we're all on the same page as to how it works.
The thing, when I said I did not agree with this process, is because it might be too much information for the agent and the agency admin to know.
Yep.
At the start point.
It
But
doesn't break the process if they don't know information. They can still complete the process. They can still invite and accept the new person into the system.
yeah, there's no one. That's the point that I said I do not agree, because I think that's too much information that we assume that the agency admin will have.
Yeah, and if they don't, if that's deferred until the person shows up for work, then that's great. They can always do it afterwards.
That was just my only concern about
Yeah,
the
it's not
process itself.
constrained by that. It'll still work. So,
Okay. Anything else?
no, I think that's it.
Okay. So I'll be leaving, and we will meet tomorrow again. Okay.
Okay, great. All right, thanks. Bye now.
Thanks. Bye.